Hi, welcome to Masks, Halcyon, Australia, the Gauntlet. This is session 8.5 because in my newbiness as a GM, I let session 8 run on for far too long. And we have a few short threads dangling at the end of session 8, which we will, you know, go over in this 8.5 session because my players are nice enough that they have freed their schedules for this impromptu possibly 1 hour long, maybe less than that session, mini session, semi session, whatever. Okay. Yes. So all right. So we're gonna quickly go over what's the threads that are left hanging. So basically, what happened last time was, I'm not going to go the entire detail, but basically, weird monsters, demons, thingies attacked. They were doing something to students and to our PCs as well as they were biting them, and suddenly they were reliving their own worst memory while being, you know, from the outside point of view, they appeared to be unconscious and could not be awakened, but they were saved. They were controlled by this weird lady with a sensor, with weird ghostly lady with a sensor, but not a sensor. Sensor, CNS here. Um, and they were eventually rescued and saved by Solaris arriving. All right. Anyway, um, Alice and Reynolds. Yes, Alice and Reynolds suffered the horrible reliving
And also
memory
Terry.
event thingamabob. Alice was extremely badly affected. Reynolds was not affected in the slightest, which is a very curious thing. So, yay. Almost, which out of character brings me to a question of was he ever a human? Very curious, is it not?
And not because I'm terrible at
Nope,
role-playing
nope.
at all.
Well, it's also that, but I'm actually incorporating that in your characterization as well because Okay, so what happened was Jake took Reynolds home to find that Nigella has taken out her flower egg seed flower seed spaceship thingamabob for a joyride and left a note on the refrigerator, probably not written in crayons, but it could be written in crayons, I don't know. uh, and Ryan and Alice are going to Stellar Labs via train, so Alice can confront Dr. Stellar about her being Valentine. Okay, so, oh my gosh, it's written in crayons. I knew it. I knew it. Also, Terry? Who's Terry? I don't know who's Terry. Anyway, oh yeah, I remember. Terry was the bowler. Right, the bowler. Okay, so on the train, you are on the train. Alice, you sent me something last night in the PM. I forgot what it was about leaving Ryan behind or something. I don't remember. Maybe I don't know.
Never mind. I didn't know whether or not we were going to finish things, and
Okay.
unfortunately, to remind you, next week
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
out of
So yeah, we're
touch
gonna
again.
like do a little bit of, so you're on the train. Do you talk to him or whatever?
Uh, she's probably pretty quiet. Um, though I mean, if he has news, she'll listen, but she's still shaken up, but she's leaning against him for support, literally
Oh
and
my god.
figuratively.
Brian, do you have anything to say to her? Have,
No,
right.
not
Has
really.
Alice told Ryan that she's going to reveal her identity to Dr. Stella? Or
Um,
has, I think, I don't
they,
remember.
I don't know if I actually said it, but yeah, she'll say that she'll explain the circumstances that some components were suspiciously missing around the office, and she was confronted, and so she told Dr. Stellar that Alice is Valentine, and now she needs to prove it, and so she wants to go take care of that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like once one person learns your secret identity, everyone learns your secret
You just
identity.
let the, you just started the snowball effect by revealing to Marvel. Oh, all right. So you arrive at the gates of Stellar Labs. Are you taking Ryan in with you, or will he be waiting outside?
Uh, does he want to come in? Now, there's a chance he might not be allowed for the audience with Dr. Stellar, in which case he'd have to wait in the lounge area, whatever he prefers.
I think that's completely up to you. If you want me up there with you, I'll go. But obviously, yeah, if I'm not allowed in, then I can't go in.
All right, well, let's see how far we get with
Mhm.
you, shall we? All right, so we'll go in. I'll explain that I need to, I'm an intern here. I need to see
Okay.
Dr. Stellar. This is her boyfriend Ryan, who came along on the
Okay,
trip.
so you're already you're already work here, so they let you go up, take the elevator up. While going up the elevator, you hear in your communicator, specifically on the Alice, that it's Matricia. She is contacting you and asking, Alice, is everything all right?
Um, uh, no, Doctor, I have to talk to Dr. Stellar about my after school activities.
She was kind of asking me if I know that you're Valentine. Did you tell her? I was kind of vague about it. I didn't clearly answer the question
I
because I wasn't sure.
and I appreciate that. Yeah, I did tell her because she noticed some components were, they seem to be missing some supplies.
Oh, yeah, yep. I've been covering a lot of that with with random requisitions, but I guess I didn't manage to get all of them. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It was my fault. I rolled really badly last session. So
Enough with metagaming now.
Alright. Okay, so well, I'll be in our lab. So if you want to come around after your after getting yelled at by the boss lady, you you can, I guess.
okay, thanks. Hopefully, I'm still employed. So
Okay, so you two go to Dr. Stellar's office. Her assistant is there. Tells you only Alice can go in, but Ryan has to wait outside here.
Yeah, saw that coming.
Mm,
Okay.
comfort
she'll
each other first. Comfort before you go in. Do a
Uh, I,
comfort roll.
I don't think he needs it actually. I think he got all his conditions out.
yeah for
Potential.
now. I'll need it afterwards
Potential.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll just wait here for you.
Okay, thanks. And using the quietly using the communicator, Alice will summon the somewhat battle damaged armor to the roof of, or well, overhead the roof of Stellar Lab, so it can
Mhm.
meet us when I
All
need
right.
to prove it. And she'll hold Ryan's hands, thank him, and head in to the office.
All right. You head into the office and you see Dr. Stellar on the phone. She gestures you to take a seat.
Okay, take a seat.
She finishes a phone call. It's probably her brother. She was kind of arguing about business and managerial stuff, and she stops and looks at you. Okay, so
Yeah. So, um, do you uh, shall we go to the roof if that's okay?
well, I can open the window and you can fly the armor in.
Okay. So Alice will summon the armor in.
All right. Did your faceplate got damaged recently? She asks.
Yeah, there was a battle and I was knocked out, and one of my companions ended up pulling off the faceplate to check my vitals and make sure everything was okay.
Where was this? When was this? I didn't actually see it.
It was actually just about probably half an hour, 45 minutes ago at North Halcyon High.
At your school? Is anyone injured?
Well, and she'll describe the battle in detail. That there was several almost spectral type creatures which seemed to be summoned by a witch type lady with a censer, and they ended up, um, yeah, they ended up whenever they'd bite, they'd knock people out, and I got knocked out in the process. In fact, actually, Alice can bring up the security. She'll have the armor open up so she can also show that she fits inside, and she'll bring up the recording footage of some of the battle so to help show her.
Oh boy, I did not expect her to appear in Australia. She generally hangs out, in the Middle East area.
Yeah, her intervention was timely because we were, there were heroes dropping like flies.
About the witch lady.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now is Alice familiar with the witch lady?
Never seen her or heard of her.
Oh, so Alice finds that completely intriguing that Dr. Stellar knows about superheroes and villains that Alice doesn't, and Alice follows things pretty closely. There is more to this story than I do not know.
Do you ask her?
And well, at first Alice is going to confront her grief, guilt or whatever, and say, Dr. Stellar, I'm sorry if I used some of the equipment in here. I just want to make the world a better place, and the equipment was here to help me do that and build this armor and try to make things better. And I'm sorry if I kept it a secret. I've got parents that are Aegis agents who I'm sure would oppose this, and I've already lost loved ones, and she'll ramble on and on and on.
And she just puts up a hand, beckoning you to, yep.
Shut up.
She's like, okay, I get everything. The point is, the ends don't justify the means. The fact remains that for good or ill, and it's apparently obviously very good, but you did steal our equipment.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not entirely. Unfortunately, you being a superhero is honestly the last thing I expected you to be, suspect of. So I have no idea what to do here. So I'll have to talk to my brother, and we can figure that out.
And should you?
Yes, he's going to find out your secret identity.
I understand.
Well, I mean, you can be what's the word? You can be assured that me and my brother are very good at keeping secrets.
I'm starting to glean that.
You have no idea how many superhero secret identity that we're aware of that we just don't tell anyone.
If
no wait
to make amends.
Go on.
Sorry. If you decide not to have me charged legally or let me go, if it goes towards making amends, I can try to. If it helps Stellar Labs to associate Valentine with Stellar Labs, I don't put a sticker on the back or something, or even if down the road you want me to change the superhero name, I am open to this. like Stellar Girl or something like that. Whatever I can do to help make things
At
better,
Stellar
please
Girl,
let me
she
know.
just starts chuckling a little bit. Okay, we will think about this, but right now, no, we're probably not thinking of legal action against you because I don't think there's any point in doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
So anyway, continue to work here as you do. From now on, when you're taking our equipment, just make a requisition to me directly so we can oversee it.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I can't thank you enough for
And
your
please tell Matricia to stop
kindness and
pretending that she
understanding.
doesn't know.
She was doing her
Yes,
best that she thought
I
was
realize
in
that.
my
I
interest.
realize that, and she definitely has free will. Of course, we gave her that, and she is using it, and I'm quite proud that she is using it. But the point is, like, there's no use for her to pretend that she doesn't know.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. I can't help but wonder, can you, well, I'd be eager to ask your insights for a couple of the ongoing investigations we have. See, since I think you know more about superhero business than I suspected.
I'm not an expert in it. I generally try to stick to the science side of it, but I do know a little bit if you have any particular questions or queries.
Well, firstly, this the lady with the sensor was normally from the Middle East. What any idea what her situation is? Why she would come around to North Halcyon High of all
No,
places?
absolutely no idea. She appeared about 5 or 6 years ago. Yes, her iconography appears to be Chinese or Japanese, but for some reason she appeared in the Carpathians, and she's been operating around the Middle East since then. She just attacks. Her modus operandi appears to be attacking crowded areas and using her pet demons or whatever they are, spirit creatures, and putting people in a coma of sort.
Oh, okay, and from experience, I can say the coma she puts people in is horrifying.
Yes, it has. It's not very well known, but destroying the sensor does appear to bring people out of the coma. Um, we have spoken with some people, and they appear to think the comas are actually done because her pet demon spirit, whatever's, steal a person's spirits and put them in the sensor. Of course, there's no scientifically way
Oh,
to prove it, so I'm skeptical of that claim. But that is what some of the paranormal attunement seem to claim happened.
so internally, I'm thinking, so my spirit was trapped inside the sensor for those, for that minute or two. Okay, well, thank you for that. And we're
Unofficially, since
also, our
since we
group
don't
is
know her
looking.
name or the name of her demons, she's just basically, people just started calling her Death Priestess. It kind of stuck on, even though she doesn't technically kill people, but it stuck on. And the demons
Okay.
are also colloquially
Um.
referred to as spirit stealer demons.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. I guess some other things. Do we? Our group is looking into the disappearance of the kids. Um, we're trying to look for common threads or
Isn't
anything.
Matricia also looking into that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what I can tell you about that. That appears to be an investigative thing with HPD and anyone else who is involved. Yes, she killed psychologically. Oh no. Are you suddenly randomly muted? Oh no,
Elias.
can't hear you. Yes, we
Test.
can hear you.
Am I
Yes,
back now?
we can hear you.
Yep.
What happened?
I don't know. I think I might need a new headphone eventually. So shall we update her if we have any information, or does she prefer to not be in the know to maintain plausible deniability?
About what?
If we have anything about our investigations and
you
whatnot.
missed that part. Okay, yeah. I was going to ask how much did you hear. So she basically says that she's not much aware of what's going on that case, because that appears to be something related to HPD's jurisdiction, and since Matricia is already looking into it, she didn't bother finding out too much.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you for your understanding, and I'm making progress on different fronts of power stuff, and if it helps the business, I'll help share some of the information that I glean and make progress towards.
Alice, do remember, you are a teenager after all. Don't try to tackle too many things at once. You might get burnt out much faster.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. I can't thank you enough.
Just know your limits, and sometimes you need to go beyond that, but most of the time, don't push too hard.
Yep. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you again.
I will get back to you sometime in this week after I've talked with my brother about your punishment or whatever.
Okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry to have bothered you.
And feel free to take your armor to the repair shop and get it repaired.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I certainly hope you have a good day and not overly eventful.
Oh, you don't want her to have an interesting life?
I hope you have a good GM-free day.
Okay, so that happened. Are you going to step into the armor or let the armor follow you?
I'll step into the armor just so she shows, or so she sees what the situation is, and then I can take quick stock of what repairs are going to be needed. But I'll make sure I see Ryan home, I guess.
Okay.
All right. I'll thank her again and get ready to leave and head out and meet Ryan.
So you appear in your armor. The assistant is kind of freaked out suddenly.
No. Well, no, I send the armor back out through the window. We have enough reveals going on right now.
All right. So you come outside. Ryan sees you. Do you have anything to talk about?
Well, at least she looks more hopeful and happy.
So you're not going to get sued?
No, it doesn't look like I'll. Well, why don't we we'll walk out of the lobby? Of course, I have a funny feeling that secretary knows more superheroes than we ever could. So, yeah, once we get in the elevator, if I can, I've probably checked that these elevators I don't think are bugged, are they?
You don't know that. I mean, let's think about this. It's a super high-tech laboratory with elevators in them. Do you think there's cameras or
Yeah, there's
microphones
cameras
in them?
everywhere.
I would say there are. Well,
Ah,
well, just reminding you, Matricia did tell you to drop by her lab.
that's right. Ryan, do you mind coming with me up to see Matricia and touch base with her?
Sure. Yeah. No, fine.
So,
Yeah.
Sorry to drag you all over the place.
No, it's fine. I really wasn't doing much anyway.
All right, so we'll go to the lab.
Okay, you see Matricia, standing near the window, scanning something outside.
Hi, Matricia.
Yeah, are you going to
don't
are you
know
going
that
to have
if you've
Valentine
met
come
Ryan.
inside? She points outside.
Yeah, I'll bring it inside. There was some damage from the battle.
So you tell her.
Yeah, and I also say, and actually in this lab, I have a funny feeling I can rig up a Kona silencer, that type of thing, some white noise generator to keep bugs from going on. And I will also introduce Matricia to Ryan.
Hi.
Wow, it's so good to meet you for the first time
Just to
ever.
remind you, that this is what Matricia looks like.
Yeah.
This is what she looks like. There is no face. No, there is absolutely no face. There is nothing even resembling of a face. There's not even holograms.
That's kind of unnerving. But cool. An AI. That's awesome.
Yeah, much more powerful than I don't know, my dead brother's AI that I had in my armor.
Jesus.
But I'm moving past it. Really.
Yeah, can we never bring that thing up again? That's really, really strange.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
No, I understand that, but like, really, therapy is a thing.
Anyway, I'm going to say like this was not in character because that would be silly.
Yeah, though I have a funny feeling we're going to get silly over time, but hey.
I hope not. Anyway, all right. So, I was actually looking into our recent acquisitions, Matricia is saying. And you remember that robbery you stopped near Seaside with that four-armed guy? What's his name? She quickly scans Tetrax.
Tetrax and Heatquake.
Yeah, Dr. Sallow. Well, they're both rotting in prison, but apparently they had some sort of advanced jammer, and the HPD has sent it over for us to analyze.
Oh, excellent. At the scene, all I could do was just kind of scan it, take pictures, but I wasn't able to get anything
Yeah, I
more
wasn't
than
sure
that.
if you're gonna, look into it because, well, you know it.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to get access to it. So, have your analysis discerned anything?
Well, it's been very thoroughly cleaned. Someone went to a lot of, effort to methodically erase every kind of identifiable, identifiable marking on the things.
Yeah, fingerprint, DNA,
Yep,
serial numbers, etc.
everything is gone, and it appears to be generic enough that we can't really tell which company built the parts even.
Okay. Well, I got a really, really silly thought. Is there any areas that are completely airtight that we could analyze? We could break into and analyze the air sample.
Yeah, it's been done already.
Oh, okay. Any luck or anything?
Well, we can more or less ascertain from the humidity that it was probably built in a, or rather the lack thereof, that it was built in a dehumidified lab.
Okay.
So we're suspecting
And
somewhere in a lab, and since there was no air pressure difference, it's suspected that it possibly was built in this similar latitude at least.
a similar altitude.
Yeah. Sorry, altitude. Yeah.
The components have any different background radiation that would help
No,
discern?
doesn't appear to be.
So it kind of sounds a little dead-endy. I mean, other than ruling out a mountain hideout for a supervillain.
It appears that it was probably somewhere in the city. Probably.
Do we know of any special type of labs like that around here? Well, I hate to say this. Is it possible it could have been created here somewhere?
I really Matricia quickly does a scan. It really doesn't look like that could have been done here. There doesn't appear to be any kind of inner kind of discrepancies other than yours, of course.
No comment.
Anyway, so it was definitely not at Stellar Labs. It's possible Aegis did it, but I don't think they would be involved. Otherwise, we have Web. It could be them, but we don't know.
Oh, okay. So I have a feeling at some time we'll have to learn more about Web.
Web Enterprise, yes.
Background question to GM. My the guy who did probably kill my parents, he's not Webb, is he?
Even the guy who Alice doesn't remember seeing?
No, actually, referring to the person whom my dad was investigating.
Your dad was going to testify against Zachary Webb, CEO of Webb Enterprise.
Okay.
And you know this, yes, Alice knows this. That is not a name she's forgetting.
Yeah. Okay. Where in town is Webb Enterprises?
Let me quickly figure that out. It's in downtown. It's around to a bit of west of downtown, like here-ish.
Okay. Well, that'll be something to look into. However, also then we're getting in dicey territory.
Indeed.
But so we suspect they're up to no good. And I'm sorry, I'll fill Ryan in on this stuff as we go, just so Ryan doesn't seem too confused.
Matricia looks at your hair, Ryan's hair, and says, "Do you really put on the hair gel when dressing up?"
What do you mean?
Oh, Sylph told me.
God damn it!
She had to tell someone. You made her promise not to tell anyone, and she just couldn't keep a secret. I mean, I don't know. She appears young, like you.
Cyber Self probably said, "I won't tell a single person."
I won't tell a single soul.
She could get technical with
I
that.
won't tell a single soul. That is what she said. And that is what she did.
Okay, so what you're saying is I now have a list of people I need to strangle, apparently. First the plants, then the computer fairy.
Why did I get included on that?
On the bright side, Matricia
Ryan,
is
I'm
someone
sorry.
you can never strangle. I mean, you can do it, but it's not going to do anything. Well, do any lasting damage.
No, I can't actually be mad. This is my fault. I did this to myself.
No, it was my fault. I should have made sure you knew it was Alice who talked to Cyberself. I'm sorry.
Well,
everything's messed up.
Well, luckily
We're so
for
dead.
you, I don't have a compulsion of going around blabbering your identity to everyone. I think Alice can attest how much I can keep a secret.
I can. She didn't even tell Dr. Stellar. I'm sorry, Ryan.
No, this is my fault. Like I
So
said.
about the hair gel, do you really use that?
Yeah, look, it's it's an important thing to try and hide my identity. You know, my grandfather did it, my dad did it. You know, it's just ingrained into me now.
Your father and grandfather are superheroes?
Oh god damn
Did not tell me that. Ooh.
Oh shit! I hate myself so much right now.
Well, Cyberself doesn't actually know that.
Please don't tell the fairy. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just not thinking today.
But you're going to have to bribe me, Matricia says.
A robot wants to bribe. Ooh.
What could you possibly want from
Honestly,
me?
I have no idea. Just tell me what you're working on, and then we can figure out what case you're working on.
The missing kids.
Yes, I know. What did you find out? If I was, if I had a digestive tract, I'd probably ask for cake, but since that appears to be very tasty, but sadly no.
That's kind of sad.
Well, I mean, she doesn't need to eat.
Oh.
That's one thing.
I'm guessing. Well, I'm hoping that I'm hoping the only thing. How do I phrase this? Words are failing right now. Hold on, give me a moment. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I seriously can't think of the word I'm trying to say.
I just love it that Ryan just randomly blurted out that his father and grandfather also kept secret identities. In front of the AI, whose brain is a supercomputer.
She could have figured it out. Or they could have figured it out. Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, we have the worst secret identity ever. But it works, apparently. I'm hoping Cyberself told you more than just gossip on our secret identities. She probably told you everything I told her.
Yeah, she was looking for information on some group called Harbinger Collective.
Yeah, apparently they're important with what's going on, maybe.
But as Cyberself said, there's no record of them on the internet. I told her to go check out Aegis. She hasn't, she hasn't returned yet, so I don't
know.
If anyone,
I mean, the only thing we have on that is, there's not much.
Cyberself honestly suspects Shadowmere might be mistaken. That the group does not exist.
Well, I mean, it seems that way so far.
Well, I mean, we've got a teammate that seems like he was affected by them, so that would seem to attest to their existence, in my opinion.
Minotaurus, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, have you heard any word from Shadowmere? We haven't been able to reach her for the last day or so.
Well, I don't have a number, but I can acquire it.
if you would. It's starting to get concerning.
Okay. Just give me a sec. She quickly, scans the internet, hacks slightly, and finds her number and starts calling. She's not picking up the phone. Is that normal?
I expected that.
Is that normal?
Okay. Not so long, I think. Obviously, she can go sometime without picking up a phone.
Huh. Well, I don't know.
She doesn't leave any sort of signature that we know how to trace, does she? Probably magical, in which case our equipment doesn't do that.
Who are you asking?
Matricia.
Matricia basically shrugs. I don't know. I've met her only once when she basically pulled off Ghost Octopus off my face. Yeah.
We did finally get the your circuits and stuff cleaned off, though. So good for that.
Yes. Not an experience I want to repeat.
Right.
No.
Understandable, not an experience I would want to have. So I apologize for what happened. Okay. I guess I'll probably better see Ryan home. I don't. Yeah, he reached out, and I guess he found out that CyberSelf was looking into the investigation of the kids, but I don't think that he got any more information from that. Did you, Ryan?
No. No one knows anything about these missing kids. They just disappear, and there's some pink blur that's going around doing it.
Yeah, we've reviewed video footage, and we found motion going to the scene, and Shadowmere seemed to be
Matricia was
seemed to be familiar with it.
You found the footage, though, so she knows.
That's right. Well, and then we also talked to Shadowmere some about it, and Shadowmere had us talk to Mistress Hex as well. And those two were going to look into it, but they got distracted by a dicer fight, I think.
Yeah, the dicers have been getting kind of rowdy recently. The police suspects they might be preparing something big, but they're always preparing something big and never delivering. So
okay. Oh, and also, we haven't heard anything more on the attack on my father, have we?
No. Sadly enough, that trail does appear to be a dead end. We're waiting for some sort of activity, because Aegis currently thinks that whoever stole the whatever was in there, that I still can't tell you about, unfortunately, but Aegis is suspecting the things may be reverse engineered, so we're kind of waiting for the reverse engineered product to make an appearance before we figure out who actually did it. So it's basically a waiting game. Whoever did it was
okay, and since
extremely
we have no
professional,
idea,
and sorry to say, they did make a very clean getaway.
Okay. I hate to say it, while I'm in this sterile environment surrounded by friends, real quick. Okay, and I'll explain. When I was knocked out into this coma, it put me into a state, kind of a trance type state where I was reliving the house burning down. If it's okay, I'm going to sit down and just try to remember the circumstance, to try to remember if there was any clues that came up in that reliving it that I can recall. And I probably need to be surrounded by friends like now. So I'll do that real quick.
This is how it's gonna be. You're going to make a friggin' let me do this. This is gonna be a bit of customized moves, basically. You're going to try to remember, okay? And so that is mundane, right?
Probably that or superior.
Okay. So let's think about this. Superior seems like thinking. No, yes, you're right. You're right. Superior is probably the way to go. Yeah, because mundane is more about emotion. Okay. All right. So you're going to roll a superior, and depending on that, we'll see what's gonna happen. So roll me a superior. Ooh. Okay.
Nice. Barely
Okay.
made it as well.
Okay, you get into the memory again, but it starts to, really, what's the word? Really rattle you.
Fracture.
Yeah,
Oh,
really
okay. Yeah.
rattle you. Ryan, you roll a comforter support, which is a mundane, which is a mundane.
This is gonna go horribly wrong. I have -2 on
Oh,
mundane.
really?
Jesus.
Curious.
Yeah, because I'm not normal.
I burnt an option. Please be good.
You
Let's
do have
see.
Don't
Okay.
protect him.
You might get a
because
+1
yeah,
because you
you
have
have
influence.
Oh, right. Cool. So it's only
Oh,
-1.
Congratulations, you might do this.
No, it's gonna fail. Told you.
Damn. Smart potential.
Ow.
Wow.
Oh, Oh, also, there was another minus because I'm still
Oh
angry.
no!
So that was a 2 + 5 -3.
Congratulations, you now have only one more potential before getting your second advancement. Whee!
We.
With
Good deal.
luck, we can do it today.
Well, how about
Maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, go on.
how about this then? If I want to remember something, I need to take a hit on a condition.
I'm thinking. Okay. So basically, as this happens, Alice kind of starts like meditating and stuff to remember the thing, and she starts really squirming. Obviously, the memory is hurting, and Ryan tries to comfort or support her. You can figure out how Ryan does that. Maybe a hug, maybe a kiss,
Badly.
whatever, but it doesn't matter because it's not seemingly going into like going into her. She is starting to get lost inside this memory again. So this is what I'm going to do. Alice, roll me something that lets you control your emotions, and what would that be? Would that be a mundane or would that be a superior? Why don't you do whichever's higher?
Yeah, probably emotions. Probably emotions going to be
Yeah,
more
whichever is
mundane.
higher, you can do
Well, whichever's higher, that's
Alright,
superior right now.
I think that's actually better. Ooh, wait. Okay. I was actually going to ask, what is your mask's label?
Oh, my mask label is mundane.
Your mask label is
And-
mundane. Okay.
Actually, that's not right. My mask label, well, at the moment is mundane, but what it can swap to is danger.
Okay, no, I was actually going to ask what is your mask label currently, Lark. All right. What does this? One second. Okay. Your mask label currently is what? Danger, right?
No, at this second, it's mundane. Well, I'm sorry. The label is danger, but I'm living as mundane. I haven't swapped.
Oh, have you swapped or have you not?
Never
Okay,
swapped it yet.
Okay. I want to ask something like as a GM information. What does switch your mundane with your mask label means? The value of the label or the identity of the mask itself?
It's the value
Okay,
of the label.
so
So
what
if I use the mask move, I would swap my mundane
your
with my
mundane's
danger
value with your
and
danger.
become more of a badass.
So your
but
mask's
less.
embodiment label still stays danger, right?
Well, and yeah,
Let-
but yeah, the mask is always my mask's label is
Is
always
there
danger.
any way to change
at least
that
at the moment.
embodiment of the mask? Not right. I don't know.
There's an advancement
really?
you can get, which also adds +1 to your
Change
stats
your
as
mass.
well.
Oh, okay. So you can only change it once. Ah, that is interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. So you, since you roll a hit this time, you do start, remembering a little bit. Namely, you remember that whoever this person was, they were wearing some sort of purple violet colored dress. Well, not dress, costume.
Okay.
Before you have to snap yourself out of it.
Okay. It would probably be appropriate if you want to hit me
Yes,
with a
I'm hitting
condition,
you with a
since
condition.
Ryan
Yes,
didn't do the best snuggly wuggly.
I'm hitting you
roll.
with a condition. What would be appropriate here? Afraid or hopeless or insecure? I don't know.
Afraid or insecure, probably.
I think I'll let you pick this one.
All right. We'll do. Do insecure. I don't know that I feel actively afraid, but I just feel pretty shaken up.
All right. So, yay! Congratulations, you have one condition. Like such an improvement from last session when you had 4.
Yeah, I got 3 right off the bat.
All right. Okay, so that happened. Do you tell what you find?
Yeah, I'll tell them what I find, and then I say, let's I've held you up enough, Ryan. Let's get you home. Then I'll head home.
You know what? How about I get you home? I can get home myself. You should probably get home soon.
Well,
you don't seem to look very well right now.
I know, but there's no one at home at the moment. So, and this way I can at least apologize to your dad that I didn't make the dinner because I feel bad about that.
Oh no, she's going to the Reed household. This is going to be fun.
Well, thank you for everything, Patricia, and yeah, I'm happy that I'm still employed. Apparently.
Yeah, Dr. Stellar would be, would have to be an idiot to let you go, and she is definitely anything but.
I hoped, but I also had to worry if she had set a precedent or
Worst
something.
case scenario, she would probably hit you with a lawsuit, but she's not probably gonna do that.
Yeah, let's hope not, because despite what people think, Valentine is not rich.
Can you blame them? People also think there's a people inside me sometimes. And then
that's okay. People think that there's no one inside me sometimes.
So what I have to do is I take off my head and then show them that there's nobody here.
Oh, please tell me she's not doing that while she's explaining this. Oh, Jesus.
Ryan!
That's
my brain
okay.
is
That's
inside
terrifying.
my chassis, not my head. The head has the sensors.
Yep, that's. You know what? I've had enough today. I've had enough.
It's almost like he's never seen a robot before. Well, I'm not a robot, but has he seen a robot before? She just asks Alice.
Maybe not one so engaging and intelligent and capable of self-thought.
Yeah, not many of us around. Well, bye. Oh my gosh, what's this? The amazing Okay. Oh, it's Mike Mignola. Of course it is. Anyway, all right. So let's. I think that's it really. Unless what were we? Oh, you were going to the Reed household. Okay, let's fast forward. Say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can cut to someone else. I've been hogging the screen time.
I think I'm just gonna say that she was planning on going to the Reed household, but eventually Alice decided that that meditation remembering thing was too much, so she just wants to go home and sleep it off. So,
okay. All right. Then we'll go with that.
And you go along your own way. What? I'm going to say. Damn it. Reynolds. Yes. For some reason, I forgot your name. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Reynolds and Nigella, what are you two doing?
I'm going to ask on the communicator. Going to ask Alice if she can research about the dicers, because we have a side quest about this girl called Mina Ling. She joined her family is worried about her, and because she joined the dicers.
I mean, Reynolds has a phone. Reynolds has a laptop at
Yeah.
home. I mean, he can use Jake's computer.
Yeah, but I know Alice has better research capabilities
Okay,
than
well,
me.
when you're asking this was basically, did you send a text or whatever? Okay, so
Yeah,
this was
Dexter.
when Alice was at, her getting yelled at by Dr. Stellar. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's
But
probably gonna
probably
see it
insensitive.
after returning home. So, is there anything Renault does here, or we'll move to Nigella, and that will be that for this session?
I guess still try call Shadowmere, and I guess
Nothing happens. Yeah,
talk to
still
Jake
nothing
about
happens.
things.
Still no response. Like the phone is ringing, you just nobody's picking it up.
Very very
Indeed.
concerning.
All right. So, Nigella, where are you currently? In
Yes.
your spaceship?
I went. Yeah, I'm in my spaceship. Went joyriding across islands in Halcyon, and somehow end up in the zoo.
In the zoo? How?
What? How?
Elaborate.
Uh, I was flying over and I just saw the zoo and I was curious why are there so many
Okay.
animals in one place.
All right. Okay, you are at the zoo. The zoo is located in South Halcyon, specifically, next to some of next to, you know, friggin' one of these islands ish in South Halcyon. Like, not all of the islands are visible in the map, so there are some small islands there, and one of the islands is the zoo. It's called Zoo Island. How
Yes.
original!
Uh,
I mean, there's a desert called the Great Sandy Desert. I think we're okay with Zoo Island.
then I guess Nigella will spend the night, and not exactly whole night, at least up to uh,
The
in the
zoo does
morning,
close. So
just playing
are
with
you
the
just going to
animals.
like stay with the animals all night? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay, which animal are you currently with? And what are you doing with them?
Next to what's a nocturnal animal, I guess.
First
Wait,
instinct says kinkajou.
Oh my gosh.
Kaju.
Wow.
I'll start talking to the kangaroo just cause I'm like, call her buddy.
You're trying to talk to the
I didn't really.
kangaroo?
I'm just sitting beside them, thinking about my actions.
The kangaroo is just staring at you.
It's fine, and I'm like, isn't all fun and games, I guess, but
It is completely freaked out by you.
it looks
Your weird. What form are you in currently?
Nigella. Just talking of as Nigella.
So your human form?
No, the
Okay, so
alien form.
yes, the kangaroo just looks at you, kind of weirded out, and then just avoids you and goes about its normal routine.
Then I'll turn something like a penguin and start walking to the next animal, trying to talk to it. Like,
Oh my gosh. Okay. Roll me a superior.
not exactly talking to
I know,
it
I know,
like
I know.
a
It's not
intellectual
about that.
being.
It's about, you seeing something happening.
What would
Yeah,
that be,
superior.
superior?
Okay. You see one of the zookeepers approaching on their rounds. They're surely going to see you outside of the cage.
Uh-oh.
They haven't seen you yet. What do you do?
I'll wait for them to see me, then try to sneak as a penguin as fast as I can to the next cage
Okay.
and
Wait,
turn to
you
and
wait for them to see you? Okay.
I'll stare them down like, what the hell are you? What is a penguin
Yeah,
doing there like that?
and he just calls it in. Hey, Joe, could you do a head count of the penguins? I think one
You
of them
see
got out.
the penguin running away to the next to the lions.
Oh, no, not that
cage.
way. Those are the big cats. No, come on. And he just runs after you.
Uh, I'll use density control to make myself heavy so that he won't be able to carry
Okay,
me.
so
Just
he
forcing.
comes at you and stands in front of you. Whew. Man, where are you going, little penguin? Come on, let's get you back to your enclosure. And just tries to pick you up. And can't. Wow. Wow, you're heavy. Wow, what did you eat? How much did you... And he just calls again. Hey, Joe, did you do a head count of the penguins? This one is super heavy.
As soon as he leave his eyesight from me, I'll turn into a smaller animal like a rat.
Wait, where did it go? What? And Joe just calls back, hey, yeah, I just did a head count. None of them are missing. Are you sure you're seeing things? Are you sure you're not seeing things? It was just here. Now it's gone. Are you sure you don't need to take a few days off? No. I'm telling you, I just saw a penguin. I just grabbed onto it. And it was so heavy. And Joe's on the other line saying, are you sure you didn't accidentally grab onto a tree and tried to lift it? And he's like, I don't. Oh man, maybe I haven't been getting enough sleep. And Joe says, why don't you come over to the nurse's office? We'll see if everything's all right.
One more thing. Is there a window in the
Well, you
nursing
have to
office?
follow him.
Follow him.
Of course he's doing this. Okay, so no, yeah. So this guy whose name I haven't figured out yet, give me a name.
Marcus.
All right, it's Marcus. Marcus walks to the nurse's office, and yes, the nurse's office does have a window. He uses the door naturally.
As soon as he look out the window,
Well,
flying penguin, floating, I guess.
you
Oh my
can't
God.
float as a penguin though. You
Control.
what?
Become lighter than
I'll use
air.
density control to make myself
yeah.
float.
Question. How light can you go? And heavy.
Light as a balloon,
So
I
you
guess.
float up.
Because crew
Slow float,
Okay.
I guess.
So you're not like Can you go as light as hydrogen and basically float up away out of Earth's gravity? That probably won't be healthy for you.
As hydrogen.
Like,
As I guess.
you know what, Janine? Like, your words cut off randomly, so we just heard random words. So your entire sentence is lost.
Light as hydrogen.
Well, you start floating up really rapidly. Really rapidly.
Did he manage to
He's,
see me get past through the flow
he
up the
wasn't in the
window?
room yet.
I should have waited.
Well, you're in the sky now.
And just
Like, 50 feet up and going up.
I'll drop it and drop my form as a penguin and be a bird and flight back
All
to my
right.
spaceship.
Well, congratulations. You made Marcus doubt his sanity. I hope you're happy.
As if he hasn't done it to anybody else.
You don't know that. Maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe he's really friendly with the animals and the animals all like him, and then suddenly he's doubting his entire existence.
No, I mean, not just has made people question his sanity to other people.
You're getting cut off, man.
Namely Ryan, I guess.
You're getting cut off, I guess.
I did.
Anyway,
I did made Omar follow a dog, so yeah,
oh my gosh.
done that
Oh
before.
my gosh. You should be happy that he has 3 dogs, because otherwise he would probably look after that dog for like the entire night.
Oh, dear.
And
Anyway, are you going to head back to Jake's house now? Or
yes, but I'm not going inside the house. I'll be staying at the rooftop waiting for the
Okay.
sunrise.
all right, so yeah, that's it for this session. So we can now do the session end moves and stuff.
Wait, can I try go to my back to me and just kind of research heroes?
You what?
Go and research some people.
Oh, Renault
On my
wants to
own
research
laptop.
something. Okay. What are you doing?
Yeah. Research Dovahkiin, I guess.
You have no.
Research about Dovahkiin and about.
Are you
Solaris.
googling Dovahkiin?
Skyrim.
Yes. If you Google
Yes.
Dovahkiin, the first result is on the Skyrim wiki.
And before I get a video game console and play Skyrim for 10 hours straight.
What?
And before I get Skyrim, just play the game for 10 hours straight.
You don't have Skyrim, but yes.
Yeah, I know about it. Just download it.
Are you illegally downloading Skyrim? Oh my god, awesome.
Okay, I guess if Dovahkiin isn't does the power up in Google search, it does make sense that he's a rookie hero. Did blur it out.
Okay.
Then I guess next up will be me researching Solaris, since I've never heard of
You
her.
find huge information about Solaris. Like a lot. So let me just read the thingy that I wrote down for her. And Ryan and Alice just know this because they are all aware of Solaris being it's basically like this world's Superman of sorts, maybe, kind of, maybe. All right. Solaris's real identity is cosmonaut Katia Kukleva. She was the second woman in space in 1979, and she and her fellow cosmonaut was caught in space when the solar flare hit. And she basically saw her fellow cosmonaut die from radiation before her own ship exploded. And the next memory she has was about 5 days later when she's re-entering the atmosphere. and she crash lands onto the ground, and she doesn't have much memory of that part because she basically went insane and started murdering people.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Wow.
That's a
that
dark
is a
side
dark
story.
story. Yes, it is, and she basically killed a total of almost a few thousand people before, including some superheroes who tried to stop her, including agents of ages who tried to stop her, including police, including military. Like, she was basically kind of unstoppable. And eventually
How did
it
she turn
took
good?
about 2 dozen or so superheroes working together with with quite a few victims, falling, but she was captured and she was contained, and there was absolutely no way to kill her because she was no longer human. Her body was basically constructed of solid light, so she doesn't breathe. She doesn't need to breathe. So she was, put in a room, where she couldn't escape from. She was kept out cold. Eventually, Aegis decided to, since they can't kill her, they would try to, cure her of her madness if possible. So they, you know, talked with a bunch of like psychics, and yeah, and almost, I like 3 or 4 years, she was eventually cured of her insanity. It was, it was very, very grueling and painful for her and everyone involved. But eventually, when she returned to her own personality, she was incredibly, guilty and grief stricken at having, killed so many people. And she basically vowed to, become, make up and atone for her mistakes. And she has never stopped doing that. And yeah, that's why even though she started out as one of the world's greatest villains, she is now one of the world's most respected heroes.
Hold on, I missed the part where how did she turn good.
It was like
How
a
did she turn
three
good?
years with multiple psychics trying to, making her remember her own identity of sorts, and succeeding.
So, so a psychic villain could maybe trigger a response in her brain, and she could turn into a murderous rampage again.
Wait, what?
A villainous psychic could trigger a response in her brain, and maybe she could go into a murderous rampage
Are you
again.
giving me ideas? Are you asking in character? Are you asking out of character? I don't know what you're asking.
I'm just saying it out of
Okay,
character.
well, I
Oh,
can't
dear.
answer that question for you. But this is what you find. This is what, Reynolds finds on the internet about Solaris. And there's like multiple fan sites. There are obviously conspiracy theories that Solaris is secretly still evil, as only pretending to be good. Although there's like 30 years of proof otherwise, but you can never please some people.
Well, I guess that's it for my
All
turn. I
right.
guess
Well, that's
my
it
end.
then. We're going to do the end of session moves for, session 8 and 8.5. All right. So let's go in order again. Flux, you're up. Grow closer to the team. Image
Mark
of yourself or
potential.
away from the team. There is no option for marking potential. You have to choose one of these first.
Let me look it up. End of session.
I think you have. I think I have it included. It should be under game mechanics. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's under team pool
I
conditions and influence.
I don't know how I can go close to team.
Well,
Well, I guess. Hmm.
you
I guess
don't
I'll
have
go.
to. You
You
don't
talk to
have to
Ryan.
grow
I guess.
closer to the team. There are two other
I
options,
mean,
but
thank.
yeah.
I'm still going to go closer to the team.
Explain who made you feel welcome.
Uh, hmm. Let me think. Alice would be a good thing.
How
Alice, I
did she
guess.
make you feel welcome?
After, I guess, all after that team fight, she comforted me and revealed her
Oh
identity,
yeah, oh yeah, that
even
is
though
true. Okay,
unorthodox
give Alice influence over you.
already.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true. Does Alice have influence over you? I think, yeah. Well, yeah, she's your rival. Congratulations, Alice. You get to change Reynolds labels.
Okay. Well, this I unfortunately I don't know what ideally he wants or needs, so we just have to wing it.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
like
see.
how I see it is that since like basically like you should go with what you think the character you know is or is trying to be or your character wants them to be basically, and unless are about to change one of the fixed ones like at the limit, he like you shouldn't need to know what the values are exactly. That's kind of what I go by. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess my first instinct is he's more mundane, less a freak because um, she associates with him more, and she finds him. She sees the
All right,
person
so
in him
more
more.
mundane and less freak.
So I have
Good.
really, really low stats right now. Yay!
Good. And since he can't argue that, that happens. Do you clear a condition or mark potential? Congratulations, you are with one, you're one towards your next advancement, your fourth one, but you need to figure out your third advancement, so do that before next week.
I was
You
thinking about
you can
removing
think
it. I
about this
used to
off
about
screen.
it.
It's fine. Okay.
No, I
Next
rearranged
one
my labels.
is
I want to rearrange.
next one is Ryan.
You know, I actually have no idea what to choose because I don't feel like I grew closer to anyone. I don't feel like I grew away from anyone, and I didn't really do much.
I mean,
Just
you
reminder
could
that
argue
this
that you
session
grew
is.
closer to Alice because you accompanied her in her entire foray into Stellar Labs.
Oh, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this session is kind of a continuation of the previous session, so you can use what happened in previous
Well,
session
yeah. Like
to
you need to
use
consider
here.
That's what I mean. But like thinking about it, like I did basically nothing during that fight. I got
Yeah,
kids
that's
out, but
so
I didn't help.
yeah.
I
What
really
I'm
didn't
saying
do
is that
anything.
there is like you can argue that you grew closer to Alice because you accompanied her on her on her trip to Stellar Labs.
And then try to ditch us. No, try to
Well,
ditch
yeah,
me.
but he didn't try to ditch Alice though. That's what I'm saying.
Uh,
Like you can do anything else. Like you can feel like you're growing away from the team because you were willing to.
no, I guess I'll go with that because that makes the most sense, and I don't feel like I really
Okay,
did
cool.
anything
Alice, you
else.
get to change Ryan's labels.
I feel
I
so
know.
manipulative.
You are.
You can't make them any worse. I guarantee it.
Well, I think we have to up your mundane to give you more capable of doing proper hugs, and probably lower your freak.
Hey.
Okay.
That's just what I did to Flux's character.
Good.
Yeah, I think I lied. I think you could have made them worse, and you
Good.
did.
Thanks.
Well, it doesn't like you can't oppose this, so it has to happen.
No, it makes sense. It's just, oh god, I really need to
All
get my
right.
act
Do you
together.
clear a condition or mark potential? If you mark up, if you
I
mark
want to
potential, you get your second advancement.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I want to get rid of that condition, but I think it'd probably
I mean, it's
benefit more
only one
potential.
advance, like one condition. Who cares? You have 4 more.
I can't wait for you to fill them all.
Okay. All right. So next one is Janine, Nigella. Grow closer to the
Yes.
team, away into your own image of yourself, or away from the team.
To my own
That
image of
seems
myself.
fair. Okay. Explain how you see yourself and why.
I think I'm regretting the fact that I tried to be a superhero.
And keep in mind you were facing 2 of these monsters at the end with your teammates nowhere in sight. So that is kind of a big deal.
I
All right. So shift.
I realized that a naive, stupid girl.
Oh God. Okay. All right. So you can change one label up, one label down. Your choice.
Unbelievable.
Obviously, you can't change you can't raise freak or lower savior because they're at the limits. But the others you can change anywhere, any way you like.
My savior's already negative too, and I wanted I wanted to bring it down more.
Well, you can't. So basically this last label shifting, nothing can happen that gives you a condition. So you can't cross the limits here. So what do you do?
I'll drop
Okay,
mundane.
and raise up.
Savior, because I tried to defend
All
best
right,
as I
cool.
can.
That's totally cool. All right. Okay, and lastly, Alice. Closer to the team, image of yourself away from the team.
There's a lot of options here, but since I revealed my secret ID to Flux's character Minotaurus, let's go with that. Let's say grew closer to the team and Minotaurus.
Okay. Does Minotaurus already have influence over you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Reynold, you get to shift.
Everyone
You
has
get to
influence
shift,
over me.
her labels.
Yeah. Noctis doesn't have influence over Janine.
Interesting.
Huh?
Janine doesn't have influence over Noctis. So sad.
Yeah,
Yep.
I took it away from her.
Okay.
I feel like you're going to choose the advancement where she loses permanently influence over you.
Oh no! You see, if I ever take that advancement, I already know who I'm choosing
And
for
I think
that.
I know who that is also, but okay, we'll wait. Wait
Do
until
you?
that happens. All right.
You're kicking me off?
Okay, so
I'm sorry, Alice.
okay, Flux, you need to
Sigh.
decide how Alice's labels shift.
Okay, since you were being very saviorish to everyone,
Okay.
so I'm upping savior, but I'm not sure what to lower.
I mean, do you want an idea?
I guess danger.
That's actually what I was going to suggest.
All right. So danger down, savior up. All right, cool. And
Yep.
you clear a condition or mark potential, Alice. Which one do you do?
Well, yeah, let's clear that condition. I I don't need to be insecure the whole time.
Aw, that's no
Unlike me.
fun. Okay, so that happened. Let me just okay, so that's that for that thingamabob. Let me quickly look up if I had any interesting thingies planned. I did. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, okay, all right. So this is what happens. Scene opens. It's inside a padded cell, and it's a bald person, basically like a Lex Luthor XP, just sitting in, it's obviously some sort of jail cell, but it's padded, and they're sitting on a bench of sort, okay, which is attached to the wall, and there's no like chain or anything, and he and he the part and there's a sound from the behind the door on the outside. Is this Matthew Harland? And the Lex Luthor XP person, bald person, says, "Who wants to know?" Um, and these and suddenly, the voice from the outside, the guy outside, says, "I've been hired to release you on the condition that you help me release 2 more prisoners." And the bald guy just says, "Oh, this must be my lucky day. Well, whatever you have planned, sir, let's hear it." And in front of the wall, in front of the bald guy who was still sitting, he's not getting up, a portal opens, similar to the video game Portal, except there are magical runes surrounding the elliptical portal. And on the other side, it's the outside of the jail cell. Basically, the portal's other end is on the door itself, but facing outside. And the bald guy sees and looks at it and is like, "Huh, nice trick." So he steps outside, and the guy who got him out is a dude with a bandana covering his mouth, like looking like a typical highwayman kind of dress going on, but a bit archaic. And he just says, "Okay, this way." And as he starts to walk, the bald guy points at him, his back, and a ridiculously powerful arc of lightning hits the guy with his back turned. And the bald guy says, "Word of advice, never turn your back on a known criminal." And suddenly a portal opens underneath the highwayman, and the other end of the portal is like about 10 feet away on the ceiling, and he just drops and lands there, breaking the arc. And he's like, "I knew it. I knew preparing." And he just says, "I knew preparing an electrical shield was a good idea." Ah, well, my well, I did tell my employers you're going to backstab me, literally, and you did. So the contract is off. So good luck getting out of here on your own. Another portal opens under him, and he disappears. And suddenly the alarms start blaring, and the bald guy looks at it and is like, "Oh, well, that's not good. Maybe I should consider setting these inmates free," who he was wondering about. "I wonder who they have this way." As he starts walking down the corridor, the highwayman was walking forwards in flat, and the scene ends.
Okay. We're gonna have some dark shit coming our way. This is
Okay.
Nah.
By the way, sorry about that. I guess I didn't notice. Flux. What did you rearrange?
I switched superior to danger and added
Okay,
plus 1 to
so
danger.
your
So I
superior
have
is
plus 3
now
danger.
1 and danger is 2.
Danger is 3.
Oh,
So I
you
plus
plus
1
1
to
to
it.
danger. Okay. So your current values are danger 3, freak 0, savior 0, superior 1, mundane 0, right? Okay.
Yep.
So let me you took the advancement
Rearrange my
Okay,
labels.
rearrange your labels and add +1 to a label. Got it. Okay, thanks. All right, so that's it for this session. If anyone has anything to say, you can say it, or I'm gonna end the video soon.
I also did get an advancement
All right, you did. Well, like you have
because I failed my roll today,
Yep,
and I got the thing
have you
from the
thought
end
about
session.
it, or you can think about it in next session as well. It's fine.
No,
Okay,
I've
which one?
decided. I'm unlocking my last 2 powers.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's gonna get dramatic.
Okay.
Oh god.
Congratulations, you now have what was your other 2 powers again?
Eye beams and
Yeah,
super
I beam and super
senses.
Oh,
Nice.
And they're
yeah,
heat beams, remember
beam. So
that.
it's similar to the his Flux's plasma channel. That's also mainly heat.
That's plasma,
Mhm.
so yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so you now have super senses. So that
I
is
wonder
like
which
your
is
like
more
basic
stronger.
5 senses, right?
It just says super senses. I'm guessing it would just be the 5,
Your
yeah.
5 senses had just multiplied, so that's gonna happen in the night, I guess. So we'll figure it out.
Oh, my alarm clock is gonna be so loud then.
Yes, but the problem is, see, you said when you gain your full powers, your father will lose your powers. So that is curious, if he did or not.
Yeah, and because it's very weird that I'm getting these powers
It is
early.
extremely weird. Okay, so
Can't wait to see how that goes.
all right, okay, yeah, all right. So thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for this session. I really enjoyed it. It was like super huge, sadly, and we had to do this extra session, which also you know went a bit dragged on. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. So to YouTube people, thanks for tuning in. Next week, ALS will again be AFK, so I'll figure out something to do. But till then, tune in next time. Same channel, same Halcyon, same heroes, but new villains or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Take care and bye.